For most adults over 60, sleep doesn't disappear. It breaks in stages. You fall asleep, the night starts out fine, and then the sleep thins out, lightens, and wakes you long before morning. What most seniors never realize is that one of the strongest natural tools for repairing those broken stages isn't a supplement, a pill, or a tea. It's a food they already keep in their kitchen: pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of magnesium and tryptophan, two nutrients directly tied to GABA activation, serotonin support, and nighttime glucose stability, the three biological systems that control sleep onset, sleep depth, and sleep maintenance. And while most people sprinkle them on salads or eat them as an occasional snack, very few older adults use them in a way that actually improves nighttime physiology. A 2022 Harvard review found that seniors who increased magnesium from food sources, not supplements, showed significant improvement in sleep maintenance and fewer nighttime awakenings. And pumpkin seeds remain one of the highest magnesium foods that older adults tolerate well. The 6 methods I'm about to show you don't rely on gimmicks, exotic ingredients, or supplements. They use pumpkin seeds in specific ways, at specific times, to calm the gut, stabilize nighttime energy, support serotonin, and reinforce your natural melatonin curve. And method number 1 may be the simplest, safest, and most effective nighttime ritual I've used with patients in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Let's start with method number 6, gentle, safe, and surprisingly effective for older adults whose sleep breaks early in the night. Number 6, pumpkin seeds plus cottage cheese. Many adults after 60 enter bed with one hidden vulnerability: their nighttime glucose drops too quickly. It doesn't cause shaking, sweating, or obvious symptoms. Instead, it creates a quiet cortisol surge around 1 to 3 a.m., just strong enough to pull the brain into alertness and trigger a wake-up that feels random. It's one of the most overlooked causes of midnight awakenings in older adults. Pumpkin seeds paired with cottage cheese directly addresses this problem. Cottage cheese provides casein, a slow-digesting protein that releases steadily over several hours. This prevents the liver from running out of fuel in the early night and stops the cortisol spike that breaks sleep. Pumpkin seeds add the second piece of the puzzle: magnesium to calm the nervous system, and tryptophan as a precursor for serotonin and melatonin. The combination is simple but biologically strategic: steady fuel plus calming nutrients. One patient of mine, Linda, 71, struggled for years with a consistent 2 a.m. awakening. Her sleep tracker showed a clear glucose dip around the same time each night. Adjusting her entire diet was unnecessary. We only added this small pairing at the right time. Within a week, her early night awakenings dropped from 5 nights a week to 1. No supplements, no medications, just the right fuel curve. How to use it: 2 to 3 tablespoons of cottage cheese, unsweetened, low sodium. 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds, whole or lightly crushed. Eat it between 6 and 8 p.m., never right before bed. If your digestion is sensitive, add a teaspoon of warm water to soften the texture. Why it works well for older adults: digestion slows with age, melatonin declines, and the nervous system becomes more reactive. A small, steady protein source paired with magnesium-rich seeds helps prevent the energy drop plus cortisol rise pattern that drives so many early awakenings. It's not a heavy snack. It's not a sedative. It's a physiological correction and an excellent entry point before moving to the stronger methods ahead. Number 5, pumpkin seeds on roasted vegetables. Some older adults don't wake because of glucose drops. They wake because their digestion sends the wrong signals at the wrong time. When the gut is irritated, slow, or mildly inflamed after dinner, the vagus nerve becomes more reactive during the first half of the night. That reactivity is enough to create shallow sleep and early awakenings. This is where pumpkin seeds paired with roasted evening vegetables becomes a targeted intervention, not for sleep onset, but for sleep maintenance. Roasted vegetables like sweet potato, carrots, or zucchini break down predictably and gently. They provide slow-release carbohydrates that prevent early night energy instability without creating the spike and crash pattern seen with high-starch vegetables. Pumpkin seeds layered on top add steady fats and magnesium, which together calm digestive signaling and reduce the likelihood of GI-triggered microarousals. A patient named Robert, age 69, often described his nights as light, restless, and hot, especially on days he ate salads or raw vegetables at dinner. His sleep wasn't breaking because of stress or rhythm issues. It was his gut sending pressure signals. We replaced his raw dinner vegetables with roasted zucchini and carrots, added a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds, and moved his dinner slightly earlier. Within 10 days, his first 3 hours of sleep became deeper and more stable, and his 2 a.m. awakenings dropped sharply. How to use it? Choose one vegetable, sweet potato, zucchini, or carrots. Roast lightly with olive oil at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, 190 degrees Celsius, until soft, not crispy. Add 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds on top right before eating. Use this as part of dinner between 5 and 6:30 p.m. Avoid pairing with heavy proteins or spicy sauces. Why it works: older adults digest raw produce more slowly. The resulting fermentation, pressure, or reflux becomes a nighttime stimulus. Roasting vegetables reduces this load, while pumpkin seeds add calming fats and magnesium that support a smoother, quieter digestive curve. This method isn't designed to make you sleepy. It's designed to keep sleep from breaking, especially in the fragile early part of the night. And for many seniors, that correction alone is a turning point. Number 4, pumpkin seed evening oatmeal. For many older adults, the problem isn't energy drops or digestive irritation. It's the inability to fully settle the nervous system in the first hour of the night. The body is tired, but the mind holds a faint background tension that makes sleep shallow, easily interrupted, and slow to deepen. A light oatmeal made correctly, with pumpkin seeds added in the right form, is one of the most reliable ways to counter that pattern. Oatmeal contains natural melatonin, soluble fiber, and slow carbohydrates. On their own, these 3 elements help create a gentle downshift in the brain. But when paired with ground pumpkin seeds, the effect deepens. Magnesium supports GABA activity, tryptophan feeds serotonin pathways, and the fats in the seeds smooth digestion so the meal doesn't sit heavily. The key is that oatmeal provides the platform and pumpkin seeds provide the signal. A woman named Carol, 73, had a very specific complaint. I fall asleep, but it feels thin, like my sleep never really starts. Her sleep tracker showed long periods of light sleep and very late transitions into deep sleep. Instead of adjusting her entire evening, we replaced her usual crackers and tea with a small bowl of evening oatmeal and a teaspoon of finely ground pumpkin seeds. That single shift shortened her sleep onset by nearly 20 minutes and improved deep sleep entry within the first 90 minutes. How to prepare it properly. Use 1/4 cup oats, quicker rolled, cooked with water. Keep the portion small. This is not a full meal. Add 1 teaspoon of ground pumpkin seeds, not whole seeds. Ground seeds digest more smoothly and release magnesium and fats more evenly. Optional, add a splash of warm milk or almond milk if your stomach tolerates it. Eat it around 6:30 to 7:15 p.m., not closer to bedtime. Why it's effective. Soluble fiber helps calm the gut-brain axis. Light carbs allow tryptophan to cross the blood-brain barrier more efficiently. Natural melatonin in oats gives a biologically gentle push toward sleep readiness. Pumpkin seeds amplify these effects by adding the nutrients older adults most commonly lack at night: magnesium for relaxation, tryptophan for serotonin, and steady fats for digestive comfort. This method is ideal for seniors who describe their sleep as too light, not restful, or slow to settle. It stabilizes the transition from wakefulness to sleep without relying on sedatives, teas, or supplements. Just a warm, simple food used in a precise way. When used consistently, it can turn the first 90 minutes of the night from fragile and shallow into calm, structured, and ready for deeper sleep. Number 3, pumpkin seed smoothie, 7 p.m. formula. Some older adults don't struggle with digestion or glucose dips. Their biggest barrier is the evening mood-brain tension loop. Not anxiety, not stress, just a quiet mental brightness that refuses to shut down. It's the state where you feel tired, yet your mind keeps a faint hum going underneath everything. This 7 p.m. smoothie is designed specifically for that pattern. The formula combines spinach, a small amount of banana, and pumpkin seeds, three ingredients that work on different biological levers. Folate for emotional steadiness, light serotonin support to quiet the mental hum, and magnesium to relax the nervous system without slowing digestion. A man named Harold, 76, described it perfectly. It's not that I'm worried. My brain just doesn't settle. It feels on even when I want to sleep. His sleep data showed long periods of restlessness before deep sleep finally appeared, often not until after midnight. We replaced his evening crackers with this 7 p.m. smoothie 3 nights a week. The change was subtle but consistent. Shorter time to fall asleep, fewer mind-on awakenings, and smoother transitions into deep sleep. Why this blend works? Spinach brings folate, a nutrient many seniors fall short on. Folate stabilizes mood circuits so the brain doesn't stay emotionally revved. 1/4 banana offers just enough natural carbohydrate to assist serotonin pathways without creating a glucose spike. Pumpkin seeds add magnesium, mild fats, and tryptophan, strengthening both relaxation and nighttime neurotransmitter balance. Blended form, easier on digestion, lighter on the stomach, ideal for evening use. How to make it: 1 small handful of spinach, 1/4 ripe banana, 1 teaspoon pumpkin seeds, whole or lightly ground, 1/2 cup water or almond milk. Blend until smooth. Keep the portion small. Drink it around 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m., not later. Avoid adding honey, protein powder, or extra fruit. They shift glucose too much for nighttime. Who benefits most? Adults who say, "My mind stays active even when my body is tired. I fall asleep eventually, but it takes too long. My sleep starts light, then deepens later than it should." This method doesn't sedate you. It repositions your brain chemistry so your sleep architecture starts correctly in the first cycle. For many seniors, that small correction is the difference between a night that feels fragile and a night that finally feels restorative. Number 2, pumpkin seeds plus warm milk. There's a specific sleep pattern I see often in adults over 60. The body feels heavy and ready for bed, yet the nervous system refuses to release its final grip. Muscles stay slightly tense. Breathing stays a bit shallow, and the transition into sleep feels delayed, almost as if the system is idling instead of switching off. This is where warm milk paired with pumpkin seeds becomes one of the most reliable nighttime tools. Warm liquids trigger a parasympathetic shift, a gentle neurological cue that tells the body, "Slow down now." That part is not folklore. Temperature-based relaxation is well documented in sleep physiology, but the real impact comes from what you add to it. Pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds supply magnesium for muscle relaxation, tryptophan for serotonin, and mild fats for digestive comfort. Milk or almond milk, for those who prefer dairy-free, contributes natural protein, GABA supportive nutrients, and the familiar psychological comfort that many older adults respond to extremely well. Together, warm temperature plus tryptophan plus magnesium create a sleep onset environment that is noticeably smoother. One of my patients, Linda, age 74, had a very specific complaint. "I can get into bed, but it takes forever for my body to unclench." She wasn't anxious. She wasn't in pain. Her system simply wouldn't drop into that soft, relaxed state that precedes real sleep. We introduced a small cup of warm milk stirred with finely ground pumpkin seeds 45 minutes before bed. Within a week, she described her nights as less effortful, her muscles relaxed faster, and her sleep onset shortened by nearly half an hour. How to prepare it properly: warm 1/2 cup milk or almond milk. Not hot, just comfortably warm. Stir in 1 teaspoon of ground pumpkin seeds. Ground seeds digest better at night. Sip slowly. Don't drink it all at once. Use it 45 to 60 minutes before bed. Keep the portions small to avoid bladder pressure. Why this method ranks so high? Warmth activates the parasympathetic system, the sleep mode. Pumpkin seeds add nutrients that older adults often lack at night: magnesium plus tryptophan. The small combination supports GABA, serotonin, and muscle relaxation simultaneously. It's gentle enough for nightly use, even for seniors with sensitive digestion. This method is ideal for people who say, "My body won't let go or I'm tired, but I can't drift off smoothly." When used consistently, it helps the entire system exhale, making the first part of the night deeper, calmer, and far easier to enter. Number 1. Roasted pumpkin seeds. Among all the ways to use pumpkin seeds for sleep, this is the method that consistently produces the most stable results in adults over 60. Not because it's dramatic or complicated, but because it delivers the exact nutrients your nighttime physiology responds to most quickly, in the simplest, most digestible form. Roasted pumpkin seeds are unusually effective at night because they provide a concentrated, easy-to-absorb combination of magnesium, healthy fats, tryptophan, and zinc. Four elements that directly influence the architecture of your sleep. For older adults, these nutrients matter more than ever. Magnesium quiets neural activity, fats slow digestion enough to keep glucose steady, tryptophan supports serotonin, and zinc assists the melatonin pathway. Few foods give you all four at once, and even fewer deliver them in a way that the aging digestive system can handle comfortably before bed. I saw this clearly with Harold, age 76. He wasn't struggling to fall asleep. He fell asleep fine. His problem was the second half of the night. He would sleep from 10:30 to 1, then drift in and out until morning, feeling like his brain never stayed on the rails. We tried several of the earlier methods, each helpful, but his progress plateaued. When we introduced 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds at 8 p.m., his sleep continuity improved within a week. By the second week, he reported something he hadn't felt in years. "My nights feel solid again." Here's why this method works so reliably. Roasting improves digestibility, reducing the GI irritation that often wakes seniors in the early morning hours. The modest fat content keeps nighttime glucose from crashing, which is one of the most common triggers of 1 to 3 a.m. awakenings. Tryptophan and magnesium work together, not separately, creating a mild but meaningful shift towards serotonin and GABA. And most importantly, the consistency of a nightly ritual reinforces your body's evening rhythm. For older adults, predictable signals can be more powerful than strong supplements. How to use it. Eat 1 tablespoon of roasted pumpkin seeds around 8 p.m. Don't combine with heavy foods. Avoid salted or flavored versions. Choose plain, lightly roasted seeds. If you have a sensitive stomach, chew slowly or choose finely chopped seeds. This method ranks number 1 because it delivers the broadest, deepest support with the smallest effort. Stabilizing sleep onset, sleep maintenance, and early morning rhythm all at once. For many adults, it becomes the anchor that the rest of the night finally builds around. Even though pumpkin seeds are one of the most reliable natural supports for sleep in older adults, I often see them used in ways that accidentally cancel out their benefits. These mistakes aren't harmful in a medical sense, but they're enough to prevent the magnesium, tryptophan, and slow fats from doing what your nighttime physiology needs. Mistake number 1, eating them too late. Many seniors wait until they're already in bed or just a few minutes before. At that point, the digestive system is slowing down, bladder sensitivity is higher, and any late fat intake can send mild pressure signals to the gut. Even healthy fats can provoke a midnight wake-up in a sensitive system. The ideal window is 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., giving your body time to absorb nutrients without triggering nighttime activity. Mistake number 2, choosing flavored or salted pumpkin seeds. Salted seeds, and especially the heavily roasted pre-seasoned versions, increase fluid retention and raise nighttime thirst. Both effects make sleep lighter and more easily interrupted. Spicy varieties stimulate the sympathetic system. Sugary coatings create glucose swings. The sleep benefits only show up with plain roasted seeds, lightly processed and easy to digest. Mistake number 3, eating too much. This is the most common issue. Pumpkin seeds are nutrient-dense, but in larger amounts, 2 to 3 tablespoons, the fat load becomes heavy for an older digestive system. The result, slower gastric emptying, a warm, on-edge feeling in the chest, and microarousals during the first sleep cycle. The effective dose is small, 1 tablespoon, no more. That modest amount is what supports GABA, serotonin, and glucose stability without overwhelming digestion. Correct these three mistakes, and pumpkin seeds shift from being a healthy snack to being a targeted nighttime tool, one that aligns perfectly with the biology of aging sleep. To get the full sleep benefits of pumpkin seeds, the key is not volume. It's timing, pairing, and consistency. Older adults often respond best when the evening routine is predictable, gentle, and biologically aligned with how the body winds down. Start with one anchor ritual, 8 p.m., 1 tablespoon roasted pumpkin seeds. This small dose provides magnesium, tryptophan, and slow fats early enough for digestion, yet close enough to bedtime to influence GABA and serotonin. Think of it as your sleep signal, the cue your nervous system learns to recognize each night. Next, add one supporting method depending on your pattern. If you struggle to fall asleep, use the warm milk plus pumpkin seeds method about 45 to 60 minutes before bed. The warmth activates your parasympathetic system, and the added tryptophan smooths the transition into sleep. If your sleep breaks early, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m., choose the cottage cheese plus pumpkin seeds pairing at 6 to 8 p.m. The slow protein stabilizes glucose through the first half of the night. If your digestion is easily irritated, use the pumpkin seed evening oatmeal around 7 p.m. Light, soothing, and ideal for sensitive GI systems. If mood or evening restlessness is the issue, the pumpkin seed smoothie helps calm the mind and support serotonin before nightfall. Stick with 1 or 2 methods per evening, never more. Follow the routine for 7 nights and evaluate your mornings. Clarity, steadiness, and fewer interruptions are usually the first signs that your system is responding. Sleep after 60 doesn't vanish. It simply becomes more dependent on the signals you give your body at the end of the day. And pumpkin seeds work not because they're trendy or exotic, but because they support the exact systems that aging sleep relies on. Magnesium for relaxation, tryptophan for serotonin, gentle fats for glucose stability, and a predictable nightly rhythm that helps your brain settle. You don't need to change everything. One small, consistent evening ritual can shift your nights more than most people expect. And once your sleep begins to hold together again, once those early night awakenings fade, your mornings feel noticeably different, lighter, clearer, more grounded. Try one method tonight, just one. Give your body a clean signal and let it respond. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which method are you going to try first? If this helped you, save the video, share it with someone who needs better sleep, and subscribe for the next lesson on restoring nighttime physiology for adults over 60.